We are Black Hawk. We are Wisconsin.
Boy, it is a gorgeous day for baseball in Milwaukee. The rivalry heats up in the rubber match between the Brewers and the Cubs here at Miller Park. And check it out, Mother Nature has flipped the switch. Suddenly it's summer in the first game with the roof open here at Miller Park. It's going to be in the 70s, everything's seated up, and it's going to be a fun afternoon for baseball here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Giovanni Gallardo on the hill for Milwaukee, so let's set the stage. French fielder, last 4 games batting .571, 9 RBIs on this homestand. He had 3 doubles in last night's Milwaukee victory. Ryan Braun batting just ahead of him has scored 9 runs already and knocked in 6 on his own. And his average way over 300. And on the hill, Chris Narveson last night, another shutout. He's got 2 going, 7 strong innings, 9 strikeouts. So this afternoon, it's up to the Gallardo the Great. How close to perfect can this guy get? BA and Rock show you some impressive numbers from an impressive start to the season.
Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. A sunny Sunday in Milwaukee. Feels like summer, doesn't it? The Brewers and the Cubs, the final game of the series. And the roof is open here this afternoon. Giovanni Gallardo is on the mound. 3-1 record against the Cubs over his career. He'll hope to extend that. Hi, everybody. Welcome back from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. And it's always great to have the roof open and the sun shining. But it's especially nice when you have your ace on the mound to pitch in those conditions in Gallardo.
Yeah, and coming off one of his best outings of his career, a 2-hit shutout. He was very efficient with his pitches. He only struck out a couple. When you think about what Gallardo has done, I mean, he's 25 years old. He's in his 5th full season in the major leagues, and he just continues to get better. Rick Kranitz is saying that he's using all of his pitches very effectively. Not sure how he can pitch much better than he has so far.
Well, Gallardo, a 14-game winner last year. He was an all-star, and he is putting together a great start. See if he can keep it going. The Brewers try to win the series against their hated rival, the Cubs. Lineups, first pitch coming up next. And the Brewers are sending one of their big dogs to the fight this afternoon. Yovani Gallardo, their ace, coming off a 2-hit shutout his last time out against the Chicago Cubs. Roof is open for the first time in 2011. And there's Mike Quade, skipper of the Chicago Cubs. He has adjusted his lineup a little bit with a right-hander on the mound, and here is his batting order courtesy of Piggly Wiggly. He's got Fukudome leading off today with Starlin Castro, then Marlon Byrd. The middle of the order is Ramirez, Pena, and Soto. Tyler Colvin gets to start in left for Soriano. Darwin Barney, the starter at second base for the first time in the series, and it's Casey Coleman up from the minor leagues to make the start for the injured Randy Wells against the Brewers ace Yovani Gallardo.
Well, he's 1-0. He should be 2-0, victim of a blown save in Cincinnati on opening day on the 31st, but every number very good for Gallardo. He's had very good success against the Cubs in his career. 3-1, a .319 earned run average in 7 starts, and that includes a 2-0 record last year.
Let's take you around the field defensively. Behind Gallardo, it's Braun, Gomez, and Katse in the outfield. The infield is Counsell at third, Betancourt and Weeks up the middle with Fielder at first, and Kotaris catching Gallardo just like he did for the complete game. And there are the playing conditions, 79 beautiful degrees, and the roof is open. Great day for a little ice cream, wouldn't you say? Gallardo ready to work. Kosuke Fukudome leads off, and we are underway at Miller Park. Dale Scott is the crew chief. He'll call the balls and strikes today. Jerry Meals, CB Buckner, and Dan Isonia on the bases. And you wonder how Gallardo will bounce back. That'll be the big question today. After his best start of his career, his low hit total of his career, and a 9-inning finisher. There's a broken bat and one away for Giovanni. Interesting in his last start, Rock, that it was a lot about pitching to contact for Gallardo. He had very few strikeouts compared to what we'd normally see from him.
Well, and that might be something that he might be able to work on. I mean, you know, the Atlanta Braves, a very aggressive swinging ball club. He got some outs early in the count, and I guess it proved to Gallardo that I don't have to strike out a lot of batters and get that high pitch count to win ball games. Something that he can feed off of. Hopefully continue here today.
Gallardo with 2 strikeouts against Atlanta as he faces Starlin Castro.
And you talk about a bounce back after a complete game. He only threw 111 pitches in 9 innings. That is a very low pitch count for a 9-inning ball game.
Well, and the follow-up performance is both physical and on the expectations of what you'll see from Gallardo. Virtually unhittable against the Atlanta Braves. As Castro lines one into left, he stays hot. Starlin Castro is off to a great start this year. That's his 13th hit already this season in the 9th game for Chicago.
Yeah, young man finished very strong last year. There's that curveball. It stayed up in the strike zone down the middle, and Castro able to center on it and get his base hit. The amazing thing about Gallardo in that start against the Braves, did not hang any breaking pitches. He was very good at keeping both the slider and the curveball down around the shoe tops.
Marlon Byrd will hit for the Cubs. Starting pitching has been a big story so far for the Brewers this year. Randy Wolf has had 2 starts that he has struggled, even though he gave up just 2 earned runs in his last start. But everybody else has been very good, including Chris Narveson last night, who has not allowed a run in this championship season so far.
Yeah, he has been a very nice surprise. I mean, Narveson finished the year strong last year, but who would have expected after getting the nod at the home opener, pitching the way he did, and last night was outstanding in 7 innings.
So the Narveson consecutive scoreless inning streak watch will be on, as he is now at 13 consecutive scoreless to start a year. If you're wondering what the record is to start a season in franchise history, Jim Slayton occupies the top 2 spots, 20 consecutive scoreless innings. Ben Sheets is on that list, and Narveson currently 6th. And Narveson's next start will be against the Washington Nationals. 2 balls and a strike on Marlon Byrd. 11 for 35 for the season. That is a .314 batting average. Has a couple of runs batted in.
It was very nice of Mike Quaddy to keep the hottest Cub hitter out of the lineup today. That Jeff Baker. It's nice coming to the ballpark, not having to deal with him today.
Baker with 5 hits in the 2 games of the series. And Gallardo walks Marlon Byrd. So 2 on against Gallardo in this first inning. Let's take you back to Tuesday night against Atlanta, and what a masterpiece it was from Gallardo.
Yeah, a lot of outs early in the count, couple of walks, 2 strikeouts, only 2 hits, both of them singles. The Atlanta Braves obviously never had a man in scoring position. Yo did it on the mound, he did it defensively, and he did it at the plate. So it was a beauty 5 days ago for Giovanni Gallardo.
Well, he became the only pitcher in Brewers franchise history to pitch a shutout and score the team's only run. And it was the first time that has occurred in the major league since 1991. Pete Harnisch was the last to do it, so a bit of an unusual game for Gallardo in that he finished it as a pitcher and had the first hit and scored the only run of the game. But all of that is in the past, and Gallardo is in a bit of trouble here in the first inning with 2 on and just 1 out, facing Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez 8 for 29 on the season. Has a home run, 2 runs batted in. Had a hit yesterday. He was 1 for 4. Was hitless in the opener, 0 for 4. It'll pop up. Fielder will give it a look. That's headed for the seats.
Yeah, talk about a free swinger, Aramis Ramirez. You have to be careful with him middle in. Looked as though he swung at a pitch out of the strike zone. Loves the fastball, and he'll hammer the high breaking pitch. Big time run producer throughout his career.
Castro out at second. And Bird over at first. A hit and a walk for the Cubs in the first inning. Chicago knows they must get to Gallardo early, and that's the case with most frontline pitchers. Saw that yesterday with the Brewers attacking Matt Garza early and winning yesterday 6-0, hanging 5 earned runs on Matt Garza. Carlos Pena would be next. Ball and 2 strikes on Ramirez. Stays alive.
It was nice to see the Brewers get a win that was kind of a going away style, a 6-0 game. Every one of the Brewers games except for one have been very close. A lot of back and forth contests, and Brewers got out early and stayed ahead all night.
Yeah, and for the Cubs, it was their first game that was not decided by 3 runs or less. So the Cubs have been in some tight games just like the Brew Crew. See, the shadows will be a big part of the equation today. Brewers felt like they remedied that last year, and they're back to it this year as Ramirez goes down the line. That's a base hit. That's big trouble. Castro will score. Bird racing around third. He's going to try to score, and he will score. A 2 RBI double for Aramis Ramirez. And the Cubs are on the board in the first inning.
And a very dangerous hitter. Even when you make a decent pitch, he's able to get a bat on it. I mean, that was a breaking pitch on the outside corner. It might have been up a little bit, but watch Ramirez hook it down the line. That ball middle away, and normally a batter is going to try and take that one back through the middle, but he gets out in front, hooks it down the line for a couple of RBIs. So it's the Cubs' turn to get out on top early today.
Yesterday, the Brewers with 2 in the first against Garza. And the Cubs are on the board as Ramirez drives in a pair. His 3rd and 4th runs batted in of the season. Now it's Pena. Pena with a couple of hits in the series, but he has not hit when it has counted. He has had men on base a great deal. Yesterday, Pena struck out with the bases loaded in the first inning. His next time up left 2 on with a strikeout. Brewers are anxious to get the Cubs out of town before Pena gets hot at the plate.
Yeah, because when he gets hot, he can carry this club for a week to 10 days. Right now, really not seeing the ball all that well. He missed a couple of days, in the last Cubs homestand. They're just starting to get back into form. Keeping it down in his zone, taking a little off, looked like the cutter.
And Gallardo back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pena. Cubs are in the middle of a long road trip here. The Brewers will start a road trip on Tuesday. Chicago heads to Houston and then Colorado. It's a 9-game trip for the Cubs, their first road trip of the season. The Brewers headed out on their second road trip beginning Tuesday in Pittsburgh, Washington, and Philadelphia. A 9-game trip for the crew as well. The 2-2 in there for a strike. Gallardo rings up Carlos Pena. His first strikeout.
Yep, a beauty right on the inside corner. Well, he got behind 2-0, did Giovanni. Then he got Pena with a cutter. Swung over the top. And now a fastball right on the inside corner. Dale Scott rings him up. Trying to crowd Pena. Good pitch.
So 2 men are out. Still a runner at second. And it's Giovanni Soto who takes strike one from Gallardo. A fastball. Soto with a couple of hits. He had a big home run in the opener of this series. The Cubs won game 1 on Friday night 7-4 behind Carlos Zambrano. And was shut out last night. But Soto had a 2-run homer in the first game of this series, part of a 5-run 4th inning. And it was a no-doubter to center field. Let's take it back to Friday night. And it appears that Giovanni Soto is healthy once again after off-season shoulder surgery.
Yeah, you have to be careful. First pitch fastballs to this Cub ball club. They're very aggressive hitters. You can't leave one out over the plate like Wolf did to Soto.
But a long first inning for Gallardo. 2 runs are in. 27 pitches already for Giovanni. 2 hits and a walk for the Cubs.
Yeah, those high pitch counts in the first inning take a lot out of you. You're not quite loose. Takes more of a toll on the arm than it does in the middle part of the game.
Got him. Took a little off, and Soto strikes out. 2 runs for the Cubs. We go to the bottom of the first. A beautiful Sunday afternoon in the Midwest. Great to have you with us here this afternoon. Ron Renneke, first-year skipper of the Brewers. He's seen his team turn it around after an 0-4 start. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Renneke today. It's Weeks, Gomez, and Braun. Then Fielder, Kotze, and Betancourt in the middle. Craig Counsell starts at third for McGee with Kataris and Gallardo rounding it out. And this lineup will face Casey Coleman, who is a third-generation major leaguer and made his major league debut against the Brewers last season.
Yeah, he got roughed up his first time out, but pitched well in the loss against the Brewers. Had 8 starts last year for the Cubs, a 4.11 ERA and a 4-2 record. Got called up yesterday, replacing Randy Wells in the rotation.
Tyler Colvin, Marlon Byrd, and Kosuke Fukudome, the outfielders. Behind Coleman, it's Ramirez, Castro, Barney, and Pena in the infield. And Giovanni Soto behind the plate, an excellent defensive catcher. So Casey Coleman gets the start for Randy Wells. The Cubs placed 2 starting pitchers on the disabled list after their first starts of the season. Andrew Cashner and Randy Wells both going on the DL. Cashner has a shoulder problem while Wells is out with a forearm injury. Little tapper, going to be a tough play. And that is going to be a base hit. Ricky rounded first. He thought about second base. Had his head down. Might have had a shot to make it to second as that snuck through both middle infielders. It'll be an infield single for Ricky Weeks.
Starlin Castro was heads up and he went after that baseball. Good thing Ricky didn't take off. I think it would have been an easy out. But Ricky getting down the line trying to beat out the dribbler, the high chopper over the mound. He didn't know where the baseball was. It's kind of interesting that Barney didn't even go after it. Didn't even make an attempt at it. And the bare hand attempt by Castro came up empty.
So Weeks is on with a leadoff single, and the Brewers try to get the runs back here. Gomez takes a strike. A lot of talk right now about Carlos Gomez and Nyjer Morgan. Morgan not in the lineup today. Certainly will see him at some point, you would think. But from Ron Renicke's perspective, Brock, as Weeks is just back. From the manager's perspective, a couple of great weapons to have. Morgan is off to a fast start.
Yeah. Well, giving him the day off. 2 of the hottest hitters in the series are sitting this one out, at least in the beginning. Nyjer Morgan and Jeff Baker for the Cubs. But it will be interesting to see how much playing time Morgan gets, particularly when Corey Hart comes back. He started to do some baseball activities today, and the playing time for Morgan will be completely up to Carlos Gomez and his success.
Well, you ask Ron Renicke, is it an elephant in the room right now? He says absolutely not. It's a championship ball club that has pieces,
right?
And that's what you need to win.
Not surprising that Ron Renicke would turn it into a positive, which it is. I mean, you have a couple of guys that you're comfortable with.
A shot to third. Ramirez to second. The turn. Not in time. Gomez beat it out. There aren't many guys who can leg that one out and avoid a double play right there.
Yeah, one hot bullet right to the third baseman. Ramirez didn't even have to move. It was right at him. A good feed over to second base, but Gomez so fast. I mean, this ball is in Ramirez's glove before, and Gomez not even out of the box, and he's still able to beat it. That's how fast he is. Not much you can do about that. A rocket right at Aramis Ramirez.
Well, there might be a few who do it as fast, but nobody goes home to first as fast as Carlos Gomez, or faster than Gomez.
And I don't think anybody's at full speed any quicker than Gomez.
And now Gomez a threat to run. He stole 2 bases yesterday. The Brewers in the stolen base category, a perfect 5 for 5. Gomez has 3 of the 5. And we'll see how anxious he is to run with Ryan Braun at the plate. Almost hit him.
Gomez tries to get as big a lead as he can. He got picked off a couple of days ago.
And we've already seen Coleman has an excellent move to first. The athletic young Cubs pitcher. At this point, Ryan Braun has the only multi-run homer of the season. The other 8 have been solo shots for the Brewers. There it is. Boy, Gomez just back. You got to be careful with Coleman. And now Mike Quade wants an explanation from Jerry Meals. He thought he had him. Yeah, looked like the Brewers caught a break.
Yeah, it looked like he was out. That is a very quick move over to first base, a spin move, and very similar move to the Zambrano move that picked off Gomez on Friday night. I guess you can understand why Mike Quade ran out there. Did he get him? I don't know if he even got him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Did he touch him with a glove?
And then his what undergarment he has there didn't move at all.
Yeah.
With the sleeves.
And I noticed as Quade was running out, Carlos Pena put his glove over his mouth and said something as he was on his way. Maybe saying, I didn't touch him. That was close, too close. Especially with Braun at the plate.
But that is a very big lead that Carlos Gomez continues to get at first base and coming very close once again to getting picked off. You got to shorten that thing up just a little bit. It's tough to get a good jump when you're that far off the bag and your first move is thinking going back to first.
There he goes. He stops. Braun fouls it away. Let's check the Powerball home run leaderboard for Milwaukee at this point. The Brewers have hit 9. Braun and Weeks with 3 apiece. Fielder homered just the other day, his first of the season on Friday. And Braun and Fielder coming off a big day yesterday. The 2 stars producing at the plate. Braun gets sawed off. Will pop up over to Pena. 2 outs. The red hot Prince Fielder. What a homestand it's been for Fielder, but culminated in a 3-hit game last night. He had 3 doubles. Rock called it a triple double, and 4 runs batted in.
And used the whole field to do it. Down the left field line, down the right field line, and into the left center field gap. The first 3 double game of his career. I've just seen the baseball very well. Prince Fielder with 4 RBIs, 5 or 9 on the homestand.
Yeah, all 9 of his RBIs for the season have come on this homestand, which will total 7 games.
8 for 14 in his last 4 games here at Miller Park.
After a 3 for 17 start to the season. And the Brewers are hoping Fielder stays hot at the plate.
And you're not going to go into too many prolonged slumps when you take the approach that Prince has right now at the plate. Up the middle, opposite field, getting good at bats against left-handed pitchers.
That's a strike. Fielder disagrees, takes a changeup out there for strike 1.
Coleman's got a good changeup. He's got a sinking fastball, gets it up there around 92 miles an hour. And a slurve, kind of a cross between a slider and a curveball.
3 balls and a strike. Talked to a few scouts here at the ballpark today, and the common theme for Casey Coleman, they described him as a grinder. He's a grinder. Knows the game. Has good command, but just getting started in the major leagues. And probably getting an earlier chance than he had imagined. He was in the running this spring. Just 23 years of age. He'll turn 24 in July. And his father and his grandfather, both by the name of Joe, pitched in the major leagues. That one's on the corner, a strike.
Well, when you say grinder, that kind of tells you that he doesn't have any one pitch that is going to knock your socks off, but he changes speeds, he mixes it up, and cannot afford to be behind in the count. He got behind Prince 3-1.
Well, Coleman's been able to open up that outside corner with umpire Dale Scott. Full count, 2 outs. Gomez will be on the move with the pitch. There he goes. And Fielder fouls it away.
Dale Scott, like most umpires, are going to set up between the catcher and the hitter right on that inside corner.
Fielder trying to go to the opposite field. Fouls it away, stays alive, 3-2.
And what that means is that he can see that inside corner to a left-hander very well. But the eyes are a little bit further away from the outside corner. Now with a right-hander up there, he's going to do the same. He's going to be between the catcher and the hitter, the right-handed hitter. So he always is able to see that inside corner without any obstruction.
Fielder, that is way back. Prince Fielder with a 2-run shot, a no-doubter. And just like that, we're all tied up.
Another great at bat for the big fella. Check it out. Not trying to pull it. Look at him finishing high. Point of contact right on that front edge of the plate. Another opposite field home run for Prince Fielder. And boys, he's seen it well. A lot of confidence. Let the ball travel and getting good wood on it.
Long home run for Fielder. Powerball home run number 2 for Prince. As hot of a start as he has ever had in a Brewers uniform. Now it's Kotze down the line. That's a base hit. Over to cut it off is Colvin. He's got a good arm. Kotze going to test it, and he belly flops. He's safe at second. Just in there.
Good slide by Mark Kotze on the infield side of second base. The throw is to the outfield side of the bag. He could see the throw coming at him, realized it was going to be a little bit off the mark. Barney got it and tried to sweep tag, and Kotze in there because he slid on the inside corner of the second base. Well, look at that approach. That's a veteran right there. Check it out. If he slides to the outfield side of the bag, he's out.
Kotze safe at second, safe and secure, New York life. Wonder when he realized that Alfonso Soriano wasn't in left field today.
Halfway to second.
That's right.
That was a good throw out there by Tyler Colvin.
Colvin really has a good arm. We've seen it a lot.
And he got there quickly.
So it's a double for Kotze. And it's Yuniesky Betancourt now with 2 outs. The Brewers get him right back and trying to add to it. Lazy fly ball to center. And it's Marlon Byrd. Inning over, but a good one for the Brewers. A bounce back. Cubs get 2 in the first. Prince Fielder delivers with 2 with 1 swing of the bat in the bottom of the first.
bottom of the first have tied things up here in the top of the second between the Brewers and Cubs. Good news on the Corey Hart injury front. He is able to now have full sprints. He's able to have some baseball activities, and he's actually going to go on the road trip to Pittsburgh, where he will take batting practice for the first time in quite some time. And VA, he said that he is looking forward to doing that and getting out on a rehab assignment. But coincidentally, one of his near and dear friends, J.J. Hardy, suffered the same injury for the Baltimore Orioles yesterday, and he had a chance to talk to him, and he said that it's something that's now commonplace, but it's something that is very frustrating because it comes and you don't know what you can do to prevent it.
That is a tough injury, and we've seen a lot of that particular injury over the last few years. And I know Gord Ash and the medical team with the Brewers are certainly interested to find out. Maybe they can share some information and try to find out why there are so many oblique injuries, intercostal injuries with baseball players at this point. Corey Hart looked great today. We watched him take fungos from Ed Cedar. He actually made a catch. Ed Cedar hit a fungo over the wall. He stole a home run basically, and he came down, and I think everybody was worried that would re-injure that side, but Hart smiled, said no problem. So I think that gives him a lot of confidence, and we'll see how he does Tuesday in Pittsburgh when he takes batting practice for the first time.
That's the thing I think people have to remember about this ball club right now. Playing a bit short-handed, 2 starters out of the lineup. Jonathan Lucroy, Corey Hart. You got Zach Greinke still out. Troy Hawkins on the disabled list, so and Manny Parr. So Brewers are not hitting on all cylinders quite yet, and it'd be nice to see everybody get back.
Could see Lucroy on the next road trip, the next series, as a matter of fact. There's Zach Greinke after a bullpen day yesterday, and that is a fair ball, a base hit. Tyler Colvin on his way to second with a double. So the Cubs are getting their hits early against Gallardo. That's the 3rd hit already.
That fastball in on the hands of Tyler Colvin, but Colvin got enough of it. He broke his bat. It sounded like it broke. Down on the trademark, and it died happy. It doubled down the line.
Second double against Gallardo. Ramos Ramirez drove in 2 runs with a double in the first. Darwin Barney. Right now the Cubs are in a platoon at second base with Darwin Barney and Jeff Baker.
A platoon with 2 right-handed hitters.
Right. A right-handed platoon.
Do you call that a platoon?
A veteran guy who can hit some home runs occasionally, and Barney. That's a good point.
That's the platoon. Splitting time, right?
Well, there's a base hit to right. They're both hitting. Colvin around third. He's on his way to the plate. The throw is late, and the Cubs have retaken the lead here. 3-2 Chicago.
Yeah, Cubs getting some good swings against Gallardo today. You see that cut fastball, and that's a pretty good piece of hitting by Darwin Barney, staying right on it. Down off the end just a bit, but he was able to dump it into right. That's a pretty good pitch, first pitch to Barney. I mean, cut her away.
And here's Casey Coleman. Throws right-handed, bats lefty.
Actually, that was a 1-ball, no-strike cut fastball, and ordinarily a hitter is going to be looking for something middle in that situation. That was a good pitch, but good piece of hitting.
The book on Coleman is that he handles the bat well. Good athlete. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Cubs pitcher. 3-2 Cubs. A lot of offense already today. In the air, foul. And a ball and 2 strikes. You figure Gallardo, not the easiest guy to get a bunt down off of with his stuff. And riding fastball that he throws.
Good command of all of his pitches, and you're never quite sure what he's going to throw to you. Does not lock himself into a pattern. That's what George Kottaras was saying about Gallardo after his last start. Very unpredictable as to what he's going to throw to you, regardless of the count. That's what makes him so good.
And now it's 3-2, so Gallardo going to be forced to throw him a strike here. And he gets the bunt down. Kottaras makes the play. See, Coleman gets down the line pretty well. Sacrifice bunt for Casey Coleman.
Hey, register kids 8 to 16 for the chance to lead the Sunday post-game Great Clips kids base runs at Miller Park. Visiting area Great Clips salons for details.
They'll be lined up after the game today.
Tons of them.
That's always a great sight here. Kids running the bases.
That's right. Our post-game instructional is banished to right field today.
They've come up with some right field instructional material.
Yeah, that's Davey's specialty.
Runner at second with one away. Top of the order now, Fukudome. And a good block back there by Kottaras.
Yeah, George has done a nice job defensively. I mean, he's been able to keep balls in front of him. He's called a good game. It's going to be interesting what the Brewers decide to do when Lucroy comes back from the disabled list. It's going to be a tough call.
Lucroy is just about ready. Playing again in Huntsville today. Has 3 games under his belt as Fukudome lifts one in the air. This will be Counsell out number 2. Well, if you weren't with us last night, Chris Narveson spun a beauty once again when the Brewers needed him most. Remember, the bullpen a little beat up right now with some injuries, and Narveson went 7 shutout innings last night, struck out 9.
Yeah, the only time he was in trouble was the first inning, and he left the bases loaded in the first. Change up down in the strike zone. The curveball was impeccable. Every curveball that he threw, every off-speed pitch down, and that's what he's done in his first 2 starts. Has not allowed a run yet this year.
13 consecutive scoreless innings. He was 1 strikeout away from a career high, which he set against the Cubs 2 seasons ago. Castro gets sawed off, and the side is retired, but the Cubs get a run. They have the lead, and we go to the bottom of the second. 3-2 Cubs. And we remind you to click on the Fan Zone tab at foxsportswisconsin.com. You can win prizes in the new Fox Sports Wisconsin Fan Zone, from team merchandise, game tickets, unique fan experiences, tech toys, and more. And if you're not a member, you can join right now. It's fast and free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab on foxsportswisconsin.com. Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, our producer Chris Withers, Michael Odino directing today's telecast. Great to have you with us on a beautiful Sunday for baseball. As Craig Counsell lifts one in the air out to Fukudome for the out. One away in the second. Coleman summoned from the minor leagues to make the start today, and he's on a pitch count, pretty strict pitch count, as he's not completely stretched out yet.
65 pitches, 65, 70, depend on how things are going for him. So you would figure that the Cubs bullpen is going to be active today. I think the Brewers are going to be very careful to keep an eye on Yabani Gallardo today, not wanting to increase his pitch count too much today. See how things go.
George Kataris ahead in the count 2-0. And 3 balls and no strikes. There's Gallardo on deck. Always a threat at the plate. Kataris, a base hit to right, had a green light on a 3-0 pitch. Well, Rock, we saw a lot of that, didn't we, this spring, with the Ron Renicky style, giving the green lights.
Yeah, why not with a pitcher coming up? I don't care if it's Yabani Gallardo, who it is, but 3-0, you figure you're going to get a pitch right down the middle. George did, and hit it hard into right field. Well, some hitters don't like to swing 3-0. They feel as though they're not going to be disciplined enough, but Kataris able to center on a high fastball and get his base hit.
Well, Gallardo is up there to bunt, fouls it away.
So the Ron Renicky being aggressive style, not just on the bases, is it? It's swinging counts. 3-0. Why not? I think George has enough to knock one out of here.
Oh, high and tight. Coleman dusts the Brewers ace. And that won't make him any fans here at Miller Park.
And not sure Gallardo liked that too much. You saw the glance down out of Coleman. Not intentional, of course.
Gets a bunt down. Coleman thought about second. He'll take the out at first. So a sacrifice bunt for Gallardo. The Brewers pitchers have done a nice job bunting the baseball lately.
Good job by Yo after being put on his rear end. Stays right in there and drops down a nice bunt.
Well, we'll see if Ricky Weeks can pick up the RBI with a runner at second. Weeks reached on an infield hit in the first inning. Weeks with 6 hits, now 7 hits on the homestand. He's 7 for 25. One of his 3 home runs came on this homestand. That was against Atlanta. Cover up the little guy right there. That's a dangerous spot. Foul ball is whistling up into the seats. It's a record-setting year last year for Weeks among franchise second basemen. The most home runs, RBIs, and runs scored ever by a Brewers second baseman last year. Weeks had 29 homers. He drove in 83. Scored 112.
Man, it's all about being able to stay on the field for Ricky Weeks. A nice, healthy season for him all year. And he had the numbers to show for it.
Already with 3 home runs, 5 ribbies. Kataris out at second. And he went with a 3-1 breaking ball.
Yeah, slider that just kind of spun up there, and Ricky out in front of it. Weeks sitting dead red, expecting fastball.
Into right field, and that is going to be caught by Fukudome. A diving catch. Terrific play by the Cubs right fielder, and it saves a run as Fukudome robs Weeks of a base hit. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. It'll be another good crowd here at Miller Park, always drawing out the fans. The Brewers and the Cubs. And these two teams won't see each other for a while, not till June. Cubs don't come back to Miller Park until July, as a matter of fact. By the time the Brewers get to Wrigley Field, the ivy will have turned green, which is not a bad deal.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it last year the Brewers and Cubs did not play until July? Wasn't it July?
That's right. I remember in 08, the Brewers opened there, and that was no fun. A little chilly in Chicago in early April.
Won 2 out of 3. It wasn't too bad.
Good point. Good memory. See if Gallardo can settle down here. He's given up runs in his first 2 innings. And he walks Marlon Byrd. So you can just tell Gallardo is not on his A game as he tries to grind it out. That leads us to our carsuit.com email the booth question. Russ in Milwaukee wants to know, doesn't seem to be using as many curveballs this season. Am I right? Or should I get my eyes checked, Rock?
Yeah, they say you should get your eyes checked once a year, regardless. But no, he's not using as many curveballs. He's using his curveball more as a strikeout pitch with 2 strikes. That's one of the reasons why he's been able to stay ahead in the count for the most part. You remember last year when he was getting those high pitch counts early in the game, 100 pitches around 5 innings. He was falling behind early, trying to get the curveball for strike one. Not doing that so much this year.
Coming back inside on Ramirez and a check on the runner at first.
Yeah, the key to that, though, is coming up with other pitches to throw first pitch. Now, if you can locate your fastball very well in the corners and keep it down, you know that the importance of throwing the breaking pitch is not so great. But Yo's got the slider, he's got the cutter that he's using. Still not using a lot of changeups. But it's been interesting to see. We talked about it on our open. 5th year for Yo. He's 25 years old. He's still learning how to pitch, believe it or not.
You know, we talked so much about Casey Coleman, the starter for the Cubs today. Calling him up from the minor leagues, and you're thinking about Coleman, this young pitcher, this guy who's just getting his feet wet in the big leagues. Gallardo is just a little over a year older than Casey Coleman.
Right.
I mean, a year and a few months. Gallardo just turned 25 this winter, this February, and already an all-star and a 14-game winner a season ago as he backs off Ramirez.
Not a bad thing to do once in a while with Ramirez. He's one of those guys that he dives toward that outside corner. You could see his last at bat, the breaking ball away, and he was able to hook it down the line. You crowd him with a fastball, but you better not miss out over the plate.
That's hit hard right center. That's trouble. And he's going to go to the wall. Bird on his horse. He's around third, and he's going to score again. So Ramirez is having a big day. He has driven in 3. And the Cubs add to their lead. It's now 4-2 Chicago.
Yeah, pitch up out over the plate. The 2-2 pitch was supposed to be away, and watch where it's located. It's far too much of the plate, and it's upstairs. Ramirez with a nice easy swing, taking it into right center. Looked as though he was looking to go that way even before the pitch was thrown. Finds the gap and scores another run.
Now the Cubs with 5 hits already. Ramirez has driven in 3 of the 4. A walk and a hit to start the inning, and now Gallardo to face Carlos Pena. And Gallardo falling behind him, 2-0. Pena, a strikeout victim his last time up. Three balls, no strikes. Well, Giovanni really battling out there. He's struggling.
Really hasn't been able to find that outside corner. He's had a tough time. When he gets it, it's up in his zone.
Walked him on 4 straight. So Gallardo with 3 walks now, and Rick Kranitz is on his way out. Quick trip to the mound from the Brewers pitching coach.
Really not missing that outside corner by much. Cubs very patient on that corner. Seems as though Gallardo trying to two-seam the fastball away to the left-handers and just barely missing. Dale Scott's not giving him anything on the corner, or at least off the corner.
Very unusual numbers there from Gallardo. Half of his pitches out of the strike zone. So this is turning out to be a swing inning perhaps for Gallardo. 2 men are on, a run is in. It is 4-2 Chicago, and the dangerous Giovanni Soto at the plate. First ball swing and a chance for 2 here. Betancourt's got to hurry, gets the out there, and is safe at first. An acrobatic play by Betancourt. And Ron Renicky wants an explanation.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty close play at first, but how about Betancourt? realizing that Ricky's not going to be able to get there. He had a long way to go to tag the bag. Pena got there just about at the same time. He jumped and threw the baseball at the same time and almost got the double play. A high chopper, Soto. You can see where Ricky is. He's right up the middle, and look at this throw. Pretty close. Could have gone either way. But Jerry Meals gives the safe sign.
Close.
Did a nice job just making it close. I think they got him.
Well, tough to tell with that angle. So first and third, one away. And it's Tyler Colvin. He's tough to double up. It's one of the things I wanted to ask you about, you know, the number of shifts we've seen in the infield. And obviously they're based on spray charts and how it maps out. But it does put infielders in odd positions for double plays and what have you.
No doubt. I mean, you're trying to cover as much ground. You're trying to play each hitter based on what he has done so far, not just this year, but throughout his career. You know, it takes a lot of prep. It takes a lot of long hours, you know, before games and before series for the Brewers coaches and Ron Renicky and, you know, Joe Crawford, his video system, Chris Bosio, the advanced scout. But so far it's worked out pretty well. I mean, the Brewers really haven't gotten beat too badly on any of the shifts that they've been using.
On the ground, fielder to second, Betancourt back to fielder, in time, double play. That could be a big double play for Gallardo. Keep an eye on that one. It gets Yo out of the inning. The Cubs with a run. Could have been a whole lot more, however. 4-2 Chicago as the Brewers play a little defense behind their ace.
I knew I had to come out there and execute my pitches and be able to, you know, keep them off balance. You know, if they were sitting there and knew it was coming, you know, obviously it can be a tough matchup against them.
We really needed him to throw some innings today, so it's a huge pickup for the club. I mean, for him obviously, but getting deep into the game like that was great.
Honestly, I feel okay, but I feel like I'm definitely going to get better.
I think we've been playing, you know, good baseball, so I'm just happy that it's finally turned around on our side, and hopefully we can win the series tomorrow.
Comments from last night on our Brewers Live post-game show. Hope you stick around today. Craig and Davey and Telly.
Don't you love Brawny when he's asked about how he's seeing the baseball?
As Gomez sends one into right center field. That's down for a base hit. Bird cuts it off as Gomez will settle for a double. That was a nice play out there by Marlon Byrd, but not before the Brewers center fielder leads off with an extra base hit.
Now take that swing and freeze that one and put it in the bottom and take it with you on the road trip, Go-Go. Taking the ball to the opposite field now. 2 at bats for Gomez, and he's hit the ball hard twice. That bullet to Ramirez in the first, taking a breaking ball and driving it to the opposite field. Well, good job by Gomez, able to square it up on the outside corner and taking it into right center, not trying to pull it. That's what Dale Swaim has been trying to get him to do for a couple of years now. We saw him do it all of spring. Got to do it in the regular season.
So Gomez at second base, Braun at the plate now. Braun and Fielder coming up. 4-2 Cubs playing the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Ryan Braun though, 9 games, 367 batting average, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. I feel okay.
He doesn't give an inch.
No, he never admits that this is the best you're going to get. I love that.
Braun is one of those guys you keep going back to. And he kind of keeps things close to the vest and goes to a lot of the cliches, but every now and then he'll drop a bomb on you. So
got to pay attention.
You just never know with Ryan Braun. He's smart that way. What's interesting about Braun is, everybody talks about his confidence, and he has a lot of it. There's no question. But the better he's going, it seems like the more humble he comes across. When he's really going bad, that's when you start to hear a lot of the comments, the confident comments. That was hit hard, deep left field, and there she goes. Ryan Braun with a 2-run homer, and we're all tied up.
He didn't know it. He didn't know it was a home run. He was flying around first base. A 2-ball, 1-strike breaking pitch. And Brawny a frozen rope, but he says he's feeling okay. There it is. Actually change up, and Brawny a frozen rope out of here. Look at a point of contact out in front of the plate. A line drive. Ron wasn't sure if it was high enough to get out of here. He was running hard to second base. Brewers are never out of a game with their power.
Braun and Fielder just smoking hot right now. Braun thought he got it and then kind of panicked a little bit when he saw the ball. Now remember, the sun is shining off that wall out there. He hit it so hard though, he banged it off the back wall behind the fence, and it came back into play. Impressive. Braun now with 4 homers, 8 runs batted in. On the ground into the shift. Fielder chugging away, and he's retired. 4-3 ground out. Well, we're talking about Prince Fielder, and his home run in the first inning tied the game at 2. Second home run of the year for Fielder. He's driven 11 now. And you want to know how hot he is compared to where he normally is this time of year? He's off to his best start. How about that?
Yeah, normally a slow starter, but he gets it rocking and rolling pretty quickly. Once it warms up, ordinarily Prince is dialed in. But between Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, the two of those have driven in 9 of the last 10 runs for the Brewers.
Kotze into left, and Colvin is there. That is out number 2 as Kotze flies out. There's no question who drives this engine. Braun and Fielder. The Brewers can win without their production, but not for an extended period of time. And when they're going good, it's infectious. Everybody jumps in.
Yeah, everybody gets pitched a little bit differently to avoid those two in the lineup.
Betancourt with a base hit. Finally finds a hold, Yuniesky Betancourt.
He's seen the ball well here at Miller Park. Had a rough time of it in Cincinnati, but every time he gets up there, he's getting good wood, making good contact, and this time able to find center field for a base hit.
Now it's Craig Counsell with 2 away.
See if Betancourt tries to steal a base here. You got Counsell, who's not known for his power. Try to get Betancourt into scoring position. Worst case scenario, he gets thrown out and you have Counsell lead off the next inning.
He stays put on the first offering,
which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Well, just talking to Ron Renicky a little bit and Jerry Naron, the bench coach, the thing those two like to do the most is to squeeze a run out of an inning with 2 outs. And depending on where you are in the batting order, if you don't have a big home run threat back there, then you may see some hit and runs, straight steals, anything to get it moving on the base paths.
We've seen a lot of bunts early in games to manufacture runs, and the running game, taking the extra bases, taking some chances at home plate. Well, certainly not waiting back for the home run, that's for sure.
What a start to the season for Ryan Braun. 4 homers, 8 runs batted in.
And the encouraging thing, swinging the bat well here at Miller Park.
Prince Fielder made mention of it yesterday after the game on Brewers Live, talking about, you know, his doubles. He had 3 doubles, but if Braun is not chugging at first base, he doesn't score on any of those 3 doubles.
Right.
Braun was able to score twice from first base. One of them was a double down the left field line. You rarely see guys score from first to left field. Ooh, just missed. Coleman was walking off the mound. He thought he had Counsell rung up.
Wow.
A double wow.
Double wow, yeah. And you know, the position of the umpire, he sees that pitch very well in the inside corner.
There goes Betancourt, swing and a miss. Counsell is down on strikes, but Ryan Braun delivers a 2-run homer to tie it up at 4.
Game reset, bottom of the first. Prince goes deep for a 2-run shot, and then in the bottom of the third, Ryan Braun would do the same thing to tie things up, but it's been the run producing from Aramis Ramirez with 2 doubles that has led to 3 RBIs and 3 of the 4 Cub runs. But right now we're at the top of the 4th, and we're all deadlocked at 4 apiece, B.A.
All right, Telly, thanks. As Gallardo is back on the mound and hoping to dial in a little bit here against the Cubs. Facing Darwin Barney to start it. Pitcher spot due up next, Coleman, and then back to the top of the order. Cubs have scored in all 3 innings against Gallardo. And we'll see how this game goes, but maybe a turning point in the third inning for Giovanni. Gave up a run, and the Cubs had 2 on with nobody out. Gallardo was able to get out of the inning. A ground ball, then a double play to limit the damage at just 1 run for Chicago. Barney singled in a run back in the second, getting his first start of the series. That's hit hard. Back is Gomez, and he's got it for the out. All that speed from Carlos Gomez, first out of the inning. The Brewers Community Foundation is again this season implementing a Change for Children program at Miller Park. More than 100 canisters are placed at concession and retail points of sale, and the Brewers are encouraging fans to donate their spare change to benefit the foundation's charitable causes. 1 gone. Here is Coleman, the Cubs pitcher. Sacrifice bunt his last time up.
Yeah, the last catch by Carlos Gomez. I think the addition of Nyjer Morgan is going to help Gomez in positioning. And, you know, Nyjer's been around a while. Gomez still learning how to play center field. He's a very good center fielder, but I think Nyjer Morgan will push him to maybe play a little bit more shallow, take his eye off the baseball, get to a spot. Morgan has shown to do a very good job of that so far this year.
Yeah, notice Gomez. Well, the pitcher is up here. He's very shallow, but he's crept it in a little bit, and with his great speed, you figure he could play shallow. Look how far over he's playing, and
he's just so fast and athletic that, you know, John Shelby says that anything that stays in the ballpark gap to gap should be caught.
That is in the gap. Gomez able to cut it off, and that's going to hold. Wait a minute. Gomez drops it. Coleman didn't see him, or else might have thought about third. So the Cubs pitcher with a base hit, a double into right center.
Of course, John Shelby not talking about a line drive in the gap. He's talking about a fly ball that's deep into the gaps. But good thing the pitcher is running on this. Very rarely do you see Gallardo give up hits to pitchers, particularly extra base hits. That's what happens when you're shallow. Those gaps open up considerably. Gomez dropped it twice, but very fortunate for the Brewers that it was the pitcher running the bases.
So back to the top of the order. 6 hits for the Cubs and 4 extra base hits for Chicago. Fukudome is 0 for 2. Fukudome, typically a fast starter. It's been his finishes to season that have been a concern for the Cubs.
He's always had a lot of success against the Brewers. Big home runs, always seems to get on base. He's already made an impact today with a nice catch out and right.
There's a big contingency of Japanese media here. The Brewers have Takashi Saito, and you know they're anxious for a Saito Fukudome matchup, perhaps. Fukudome was an all-star in 08, his rookie year, after a long career in Japan before he arrived in the States. And that's ball 4. So Gallardo continues to scuffle. And 2 on with 1 out. Well, as part of our Fox Sports Supports charitable initiative, we're proud to wear these pins during our 2011 MLB on Fox Sports Wisconsin season. all to support Stand Up to Cancer and their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. For more information, we invite you to visit standup2cancer.org/Fox Sports. 2 on, 1 out. And Starlin Castro coming up. The Cubs have had at least 2 base runners on in every inning today against Gallardo.
It's been one of those days. You're talking about Casey Coleman being a grinder. It's been a grind today for Yo. He's already at 82 pitches.
As we play in the 4th inning, just 1 out.
He's not missing by much. I mean, those pitches on the inside, outside corners, just a bit off the corner and should be called balls. But again, Yo's not missing by a whole lot.
Two and 1. Sergio Mitre begins to get loose. You don't often see the long reliever when Gallardo starts. Two on, 1 out. Brewers set up for a double play. And a slider on the corner. Just caught a piece. It's 2-2. Castro didn't agree with Dale Scott.
I think Gallardo got a break on that call right there. Might have been a bit low. Look low.
Ground ball. This is Weeks to Betancourt. Fires a bullet over there. Ricky had a tough time getting it out of his glove. And they'll get the lead out. Unlikely they were going to turn 2 anyway.
That was a nice catch by Betancourt because Ricky had to fire a bullet to him. And it was about belt high. Almost handcuffed Betancourt. You know, not enough to turn a double play. Ricky Weeks trying to get the lead runner. Had a tough time getting the handle, and a rocket over to Betancourt from about, what, 20 feet?
Yeah, with a base runner crashing in on him. Well, a dangerous hitter coming up. Marlon Byrd. He's walked twice. He has scored twice. 2 outs, 4-4 game. Cubs have runners at the corners. And Kataris saves a run. Good play back there from George Kataris.
And he's improved tremendously over a year ago in blocking pitches in the dirt. Ron Renneke has been very impressed with the defense for Kataris so far.
There's a strike. Fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marlon Byrd. 2nd year with the Cubs. A first-time All-Star last year in his first season with Chicago. .293 batting average last year. In there. Good fastball. 1-2 the count on Byrd. Sawed him off. Here's Weeks. Takes a tough hop. And he makes a play. Gallardo, his first scoreless inning. It's been a battle today for Yo. We'll see Ricky Weeks hit when we come back. 8-9-1, 2 up. All tied at Miller Park.
Move to the bottom of the fourth. Let's check in with the crew in the community at Monday's home opener. The Brewers Community Foundation and Brewers fans helped raise money for a very worthy cause. Fans purchased thousands of 50-50 raffle tickets from the Brewers Community Foundation that afternoon, which resulted in $12,500 donation to UNICEF to benefit children affected by the Japanese tsunami and earthquake. But just a few days prior to that, over $4,500 was raised for the American Red Cross Japanese Recovery Fund through an autograph signing at a Brewers spring training game. This is all on top of a $500,000 donation made by Major League Baseball to UNICEF Fund. The Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation send out a big thank you to fans for helping with this recovery. Brian?
All right, Telly, thanks. As George Kataris leads off for the Brewers here in the fourth inning. George swung away on a 3-0 pitch in the second, delivered a single to right field. And that one is into right, almost the same spot. Kataris is 2 for 2. And a leadoff single for the Brewers in the fourth.
And George not messing around. He got a 3-0 fastball, and that looked like a changeup that time. And able to stay back long enough to bang it into right field. Now Giovanni can go up there and bunt again.
But isn't there a small piece of you that wants to see Gallardo swing away? Just a small part of you? I know you're the baseball guy. From a fan's perspective.
If I knew he was going to hit a homer, yeah.
He just might. There's a good bunt. And Pena's only play is first base. 2 sacrifice bunts for Giovanni Gallardo.
What you want to avoid is the double play. That's what you want to avoid. And but if he could drop the bunts down like he has today, he's going to help himself and maybe get himself a win. Brewer pitching has done a much better job of dropping down bunts early on here this year.
But it enhances his superhero description if he goes up there and hits a home run.
I get what you're saying. Yep. Silver slugger guys should be able to swing away, right?
No, the bunts are the right thing to do. Doesn't make it the funnest thing to watch, but it's the right thing. Now Kataris is at second, and the top of the order. Brewers have a couple of shots at driving in a run to take the lead. Ricky smoked one in the second inning. It was a great catch by Fukudome in right field. Diving catch, which ended the inning. Weeks when that left the bat, Ricky's thinking about a hit, an RBI, maybe an extra base hit. Fukudome spoiled it. Ricky is 1 for 2. Infield hit in the first. Trying to play run producer here in the fourth inning.
Look out. That's a way to twist an ankle.
Is that what happens when you catch a lot? Dead legs.
That's what happens when you're not sure if you should slide or go in standing up. When in doubt, slide. Just remember that. It's always safer.
Now the Cubs trying to keep Kataris close. Big hole opened up on the right side for Weeks. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And down goes Ricky. Took a little off. A changeup from Coleman. Out number 2. Our AT&T trivia today. Who has had the most managers since 1997? The Brewers or the Cubs? 97 would have been the first time these two teams played each other. Interleague play.
Interleague play, yep. The Brewers moved to the National League, of course, in '98. That's a good one.
So who has had the most managers? Slow roller out to third. Ramirez makes a play to get Gomez. Inning over. And the Brewers come up empty in the fourth.
And today's time of the game winners, the Shipwreck Bay Bar in Mauston. You know where Mauston is, right? Just east of Toma.
Yeah.
On 94. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, you know the number by now. They get 40 tickets to the Miller Lite Beer Pen.
Into right center field. Gomez cannot get there. And Ramos Ramirez is having a day. His third double. This time he leads off with a double. He's driven in 3. And Gallardo not getting much by Aramis Ramirez.
And if Ramirez was running hard all the way out of the box, he would have had a triple. He was thinking about a triple after rounding second base. Well, he's dialed in right now. When he starts to go to right center field, opposing pitchers are in big trouble. And he's doing that today. Gomez took a weird angle on it. I think it was hit a little bit harder than he thought. Right there, if Ramirez is thinking 3, he's going to be able to get it, I think. But home to third is a little bit too far for Aramis.
So a runner at second to start the inning after the double. And it's Carlos Pena now. Well, Gallardo is close to the end. He has 92 pitches. The bullpen is active for the Brewers. Sergio Mitre is out there. But you know, Gallardo would love to get through this 5th inning and have a chance at a win here today. As Pena will advance the runner. Weeks makes the play, but Ramirez ends up at third base.
You take that any day with Pena up and a man at second, nobody out. You get the ground ball.
Tied at 4, and it's Soto. Popped him up. That looks like it's headed for the seats. Boy, a strange infield defense here for Soto. Now, we've seen the shift a lot with right-handed batters. I'm not sure if I've seen an infield in shift before. Have you?
Well, it doesn't matter, I guess, right? If he's going to hit a ground ball, he's normally going to hit it to the left side. And he got Prince about as far off of first base over toward the hole at second as he can, and still able to get to first on a ground ball.
And they're moving him over a little bit. That's got to mess with your mind as a hitter a little, doesn't it? At least at first.
Yeah. I guarantee Giovanni Soto has never seen a shift like that when he's been at the plate.
Strike. 1-2 on Soto.
Ricky Weeks on the shortstop side of second. And they are in, trying to cut off that run at third base. This is where you bounce that curveball right here. Get him to swing and miss.
He could use a K. The 1-2 pitch. And it's a fastball upstairs.
So far today, Giovanni has not been able to keep that curveball and slider down in the zone like he did in his last start. That's probably why he's trying to stay hard on his hands.
See what he does here. 2-2. A breaking ball. Counsell coming in. Throws to the plate. And they got him at home. The infield in pays off. And the Brewers cut down a potential run.
And a very good pitch by Gallardo. It was a cutter or a slider, one of the two. Down and away. And that's why you have the shift on Soto. He does that. Even on pitches away. He's going to try and hook him. He gets the ground ball. And it's an easy out at home plate. But it all starts with the pitch. If you don't make the pitch, the shift really is not going to work too well. And a good job of blocking off home plate by George Kataris. Plenty of time for Counsell and makes a good throw to home plate.
Made it easy on his catcher.
Now you set your defense and you incorporate the shift based on a pitcher working a hitter based on a scouting report. If the pitcher is not able to pitch to the scouting report, the shift's not going to work.
Tyler Colvin. One of the big spots in the game with Colvin at the plate in the third inning. He grounded into a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning after the Cubs had 2 on with nobody out to start the frame.
And it looked as though out of the box, it looked as though Aramis Ramirez was going to be able to get a triple on that ball that got by Gomez, but because he stayed at second base, it cost the Cubs a run.
Yeah, the inning changes drastically with a runner at third and nobody out,
right,
as opposed to a runner at second and nobody out.
He stopped running about halfway between first and second and then thought about going again, and that was too late.
Now Gallardo a chance to get out of it. All tied at 4. The 2-2 slap foul.
It's a lot easier to run hard and then stop than it is to slow down and start to go again.
That leadoff double by Ramirez, followed by a ground out from Pena, and then Soto reached on a fielder's choice. Pitch number 104 for Gallardo. And Colvin stays alive. Just to give you a comparison, Gallardo, and it's an unfair comparison, but his complete game 2-hitter against the Braves, he threw 111 pitches. That's in 9 innings. He's going to throw at least 105 in 5 innings, and this most likely will be his last inning. 2-2. Count goes full.
It's awfully difficult to back up one of the best pitching performances in all of baseball, though. That's a high bar to set.
Yep. The Brewers will have Braun, Fielder, and Katze coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Full count, 2 outs. That means Soto will get a head start at first. There he goes. The pitch is swung on in the air. Center field. Back is Gomez with room. He's got it. And a hard-fought 5 innings for Yovani Gallardo. See if his offense can give him a shot at a victory here today. The big boys are coming up. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Well, we've seen some finesse from the Brewers on this homestand, but there's some power today. 2 home runs. Braun and Fielder go deep. We're tied at 4 in our AT&T trivia. Who's had the most managers since '97? Brewers or Cubs? And if you said the Brewers, you were the winner. This is since '97, the first year they matched up in interleague play. Ron Renicky, the latest to skipper the Milwaukee Brewers. A big list. Mike Quaddy took over last year for Lou Piniella in an interim role, and then earned the full-time job beginning this season. Of course, Dale Swain was only around for the last 2 weeks of the season and the playoffs in '08. Ned Yost was let go. So here we go to the bottom of the 5th, and if the Brewers score a run here and they go on to win this game, it could be one of the ugliest victories in Yovani Gallardo's career, but you got to give him credit for grinding out 5 innings.
Well, he is a competitor. I mean, whether he's got his good stuff or not, he's going to give you all he has, always keep you in a ball game. Be nice for the Brewers to put up a crooked number here and get him a win.
The 0-2 to Braun, and it's outside. 1-2 the count. Braun and Fielder have put on a show on this homestand, especially in the last few days. Between the two on this homestand, 4 homers, 17 RBIs, and a combined batting average of .386. 17 hits between the two on this homestand. This is the 7th game of the homestand. Here's a 2-2. In the air, center field. Did he get it? Back is Bird. Not quite. One gone, just missed it. And now it's Prince Fielder. And Rock, this is from yesterday.
Yeah. First inning was, you can see the double that Prince was able to get. You see the point of contact. All the swings are the same. Look at the finish on all the swings. The belt buckle's in a bit of a different location. He had a double down the line in left. He had a double to left center and a double down the line in right. The first inning double, he had the point of contact out in front of him. That was a double to right. The one that you see in the middle is the one that he sliced down the left field line. That was an 0-2 pitch, so he was making sure the ball got to him.
Fielder goes to the opposite field, a base hit. So Prince keeps it going.
I guess the moral of the story when you watch those free shots of Prince Fielder is that it's the same swing. It's just a different point of contact. When the ball is away, you allow it to travel a little bit further. You hit it basically off your front foot to go to the opposite field. But you don't change your swing at all. Your balance is the same. It's just a point of contact. And when you make contact with the baseball. But you know how difficult that is to do at the major league level? I mean, the instinct is to go out and jump at a baseball. And, you know, when you do that, you're going to roll over on. That's when they call roll over on it. When the barrel of the bat is out in front of the hands, that's the rollover. You want to keep those hands inside the ball, and the barrel of the bat follows the hands through the strike zone.
Mark Kotsay digs in. Kotsay went to the opposite field back in the first inning, had a double. That's why you hear coaches, managers, we hear it from Dale Swaim all the time, but he can almost predict a hot streak at the plate just by the way the hitter's approaching pitches, you know, going to the opposite field, letting the ball travel, as you say.
Seeing the baseball, a lot of hot streaks start with walks.
Kotsay starting to hit a little bit as well. 1 for 2 today. And a couple of hits earlier in the homestand. As Coleman hits the corner on the 3-0 pitch.
Kotsay very good at going to the opposite field, even on pitches in on him. We saw that in spring training. He's done it a couple of times already in the regular season. Tough to defend. That's why they play him straight away.
And it's ball 4. So a little action brewing here for the Crew. 2 on, 1 out in the 5th.
Hey, on Sunday, April 24th, the Brewers take to the field against the Houston Astros at 1:10. All fans in attendance get a John Axford bobblehead courtesy of Palermo's Pizza and Piggly Wiggly. For more details or to order tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
Big crowd on hand to see this one today. Cubs pitching coach Mark Riggins. Chat with Coleman. Action in the Cubs bullpen right now.
Yeah, we were told it was going to be around 65, 70 pitches for Coleman, but he's already at 77. And we'll see how long he's going to be out there.
Coleman getting the spot start today, called up from the minor leagues to start for the injured Randy Wells, out with a forearm injury. 1 out, 2 on. Here's Betancourt.
Of course, we were told that by the members of the Cubs broadcast crew. I think that they were lying to us.
That's.
Can they be trusted?
Got a lot of potential. That statement.
You think you could trust people?
Len Casper, Bob Brindley. Betancourt, a little flare, that's falling fast. And oh, what a catch by Fukudome.
Might have hurt himself.
2 great catches today by the right fielder.
Yeah, diving catch on a line drive, taking a extra base hit away. And now a little flare in front of him on his horse. A lot of guys are going to slide on that. Get down, slide, and give themselves a little bit better opportunity to see the baseball. But Fukudome on his horse and makes a catch just before it hits the ground. Good play.
A couple of base runners out there, and Fielder and Kotsay in no man's land.
And Fukudome robbed Ricky Weeks in the second inning.
2 excellent plays in right. Now 2 outs, and here's Craig Counsell looking for his first hit of the year. And he bounces one. It's Pena. Coleman covers, and the Cubs are out of the inning. Brewers strand 2, still tied at 4. Reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers.
Hey, sign up for Brewers checking at Associated Bank and get a signed Ryan Braun baseball, limited time offer for new customers. Minimum deposit of $100. Some restrictions apply. Visit associatedwithsports.com for information.
To the 6th we go, and it's Sergio Mitre on the pitch for Milwaukee. Gallardo is out, and Mitre will get his chance to try to keep the Cubs down. The former Cub, Sergio Mitre.
Mitre acquired from the Yankees for Chris Dickerson on March 25th. He's appeared in 3 games this year and has allowed only 1 base runner. That was an infield single.
Mitre will face Darwin Barney to start the inning. Barney drove in a run in the 2nd. And the pitcher spot is due up next. Casey Coleman. We'll see if he hits. He's kind of keeping an eye on the Cubs dugout. Kosuke Fukudome made that excellent running catch. He's struggling in the dugout there. I'm not sure if it's a back or a leg injury or what, but he does not look comfortable.
Yeah, you could tell when he was running in after catching the baseball that something was going on with him. Not sure what it was. It could be a number of things. You're running hard, you reach down, maybe a hamstring, back, who knows.
On the corner, strike 2 for Mitre.
And Mitre, a control pitcher. He's got good sync on his fastball with a slider. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher. He'll flip up, change up from time to time.
Final numbers on Gallardo. 5 grind him out innings. 7 hits, 4 runs. A base hit. Darwin Barney showing a good bat. Now you see the dilemma that Mike Quaddy's in. He's got 2 second basemen that are in somewhat of a platoon, and both of them are swinging the bat well.
Yeah, well, you got to get them, both some playing time, but it looks as though Baker is the guy that can drive the ball a little bit better. Barney, not a big guy, but covers the outside corner pretty well. That wasn't a bad pitch by Mitre, and he serves it into right field. More of a slap hitter than Jeff Baker.
You saw the Cubs lineup today and you're thinking, wow, Jeff Baker's out after all the damage he's done in this series. But Barney has had 2 hits. And it gives Coleman a chance to bunt the runner over. Yeah, Soriano has moved into the on-deck circle. Fukudome is coming out. So it was a great catch, but it came with a price. Good bunt. Fielder makes the play. Second sacrifice bunt. Coleman's had a perfect day at the plate. 2 sacks and a double. And the Cubs have another runner in scoring position. There's a catch by Fukudome, and
maybe right there you saw that right leg plant. You maybe hyperextend the knee, an ankle, hamstring. It could be a number of things.
So he is out, and it's going to be Soriano. Not a bad option off the bench for Mike Quade. Base runners everywhere today.
Yeah, for both teams.
There has not been a 3-up, 3-down inning in this game. And the Cubs have had at least 2 men on in every inning through the first 5.
Yeah, both teams have had an at-bat with men in scoring position every inning.
Soriano hitless yesterday. Had 2 hits in the opener Friday. That one's into shallow center field. Weeks going back, drifting back. Gomez makes a catch. Cardinals covered a lot of ground there and hauls it in.
Yeah, you have to play deep with Soriano at the plate, but the way Gomez can run, I mean, that's a walk in the park for him. See how deep he is out there, and even with a decent jump, he's standing there waiting for it.
Music to an infielder's ears to hear "I got it" on a ball like that. So 2 outs now. Mitre against Castro. Little flare. Fielder gives it a run. That's foul. Well, Castro is hacking early in the counts.
Yeah. He got jammed badly his second time up. An easy ground ball to second, but it's amazing that Castro is even in the game today. Remember, he took a throw from behind home plate on a steal that hit him right in the jaw. Never got a glove on it. Doesn't even look swollen.
He can take a punch. Go ahead, run at second. The pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Starlin Castro. The prize of the Cubs minor league system. Made it to the big leagues last year. Full season in the major leagues. Really caught fire with the bat in the second half. And he's continued it in 2011. He's hitting .351 currently. Breaking ball strike. A beauty. 1-2 the count on Castro. Out to Betancourt. One shortstop retires the other. And Mitre is scoreless 6th. 4-4 ball game. Brewers coming to bat. Please play responsibly. By Airtran, go, there's nothing stopping you. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness.
Mateo.
All tied at 4 on a great day for a ball game at Miller Park. Yeah, take a picture. A lot of kids out at the ballpark today, as is usually the case on a Sunday at Miller Park. Got some changes here for the Cubs. Marcos Mateo is on to pitch. And we saw a little bit of Mateo yesterday at a scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts. He makes his 5th appearance already. Soriano stays in the game to play left field. That moves Tyler Colvin from left to right. Fukudome is out. And the Brewers are at the bottom of their batting order. Kataris will lead off, then the pitcher spot, Mitre, and then back to the top.
There's a 3-up 3-down inning yesterday for Mateo. A very good slider. He struck out a couple of batters.
So both starters are out. Coleman and Gallardo both go 5 innings, allow 4 earned runs. Hitters count for Kataris, 2 for 2 today. And it's 3-1. George with 9 homers last year and very limited playing time. He's got big power. And he just missed one. Gets under it. Darwin Barney makes a catch, 1 away. Ho-Chunk Gaming texts the broadcast today from Fall River. It's Austin who wants to know who will be the backup catcher when Lucroy returns, Nieves or Kataris.
Lutellan.
Good question.
It's going to be a tough call.
Can't get it out of Ron Renicky.
Yeah, don't discount the fact that they might keep both of them. That's an outside possibility, but a possibility. Kataris, you know, you can keep him on the bench as a left-handed hitter. Have Nieves as the backup. Kataris can play first if need be in a pinch. We'll see. It's not going to be an easy decision, whatever they decide to do.
Bench hitter here with 1 away, Jeremy Reed. Well, Reed's been searching for a stroke. Swung the bat very well in Arizona, but he was playing every day. Had a chat with him earlier today in the clubhouse, talking about coming off the bench. He understands his role, but it's hard to find a swing when you're, getting an at bat every other day or so.
Man, that's the difficult thing about being a bench player. Figuring out how to stay sharp, keep that edge. It doesn't take long to lose it. I mean, you can go throughout spring training, play just about every day, and then in about 5 days on the bench, it's gone. It's tough.
Now Reed down on strikes. So 2 outs for Mateo. While the Brewers roster changed thanks to a few key additions last winter, Miller Park was getting a facelift as well. And if you log on to FoxSportsWisconsin.com now, get reviews from both players and fans on the new HD scoreboard in all of its majesty out there. It's beautiful, crystal clear. And you can see Ricky Weeks has 3 at-bats today. First couple of days here, it was a bit of a distraction. It was something new that we haven't seen, and you catch yourself looking at all that's up there.
Yep, taking a while to figure out, everything's compartmentalized and a lot of information up there, but once you get used to it.
Carlos Pena in foul territory, wants it. He's got it. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Marcos Mateo. Still tied at 4. We head to the 7th inning from Miller Park.
Fielder would get the Brewers on the board first with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the first, and then Ryan Braun in the bottom of the third. His 4th home run of the season would tie the game at 4 apiece. And on the Cubs side, it's been Aramis Ramirez with his own version of a triple-double. 3 doubles, 3 of the 4 RBIs were driven in by Aramis Ramirez, but now in the top of the 7th, and it's still a 4-4 game, and Sean Green will work the 7th for the Brewers. BA?
All right, Telly, thanks. 37,193, the official attendance here today. Final game of the opening homestand of the series, of the season, I should say. In our Miller Lite What's on Tap, the Pirates on Tuesday. The Brewers will be in Pittsburgh. We're on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brewers live at 5:30. WMLW on Wednesday, and then back on FS Wisconsin Thursday. It'll be a 9-game road trip for the Brewers. Sean Green back out there, his 3rd consecutive game. Had a scoreless inning yesterday, a pretty easy inning at that. So Green will have the 7th, and he'll go right through the heart of the Cubs order. Marlon Byrd, Aramis Ramirez, and Carlos Pena.
Yeah, Ron Renick would like to be able to use Sean Green for as many right-handed batters as he can. In this situation, he's going to have to deal with Pena, a left-hander. So 3 of the first 4 hitters for the Cubs, right-handed.
All tied at 4. The pitching is settled down somewhat over the last 3 innings. All 8 combined runs came in the first 3 innings. Gallardo and Coleman chased after 5. And neither will factor in the decision today. Down the right field line, slicing. That is a fair ball in the corner. Bird around second. He'll stop there. A double. More extra base hits from the Chicago Cubs.
That's a good piece of hitting by Marlon Byrd. It's tough for right-handed batters to keep that front shoulder closed and, drive that ball to the opposite field against a sidearmer out there like Sean Green. Watch that front shoulder for Byrd. Doesn't move an inch. That's why he's able to cover that outside corner. And a little breaking pitch that was up a little bit, but on the corner. But Byrd, with a good approach, able to tuck one inside that right field line. Well, that front shoulder leaks just a bit, and that's all it takes to get a right-handed batter out with that pitch like that.
That is the 6th double for the Cubs. 6 of their 9 hits have been doubles, and now the red-hot Ramirez. as he launches one, playable for Gomez. And the first out, and a big out for Sean Green as Ramirez cannot advance Marlon Byrd.
Yeah, big hack and an easy pop up, and Ramirez not able to advance the runner to third base. I know his job is to drive in runs, and he does a good job of that. But if you're going to make it out in that situation, you just as soon hit it to the right side. He's been doing that all day too.
Well, the left-hander Pena is coming up, and Ron Renicky is going to play matchup here with Pena. So Renicky is going to go to the bullpen. He's got Mitch Stetter, his situational left-hander, ready to go. We'll set up Mitch Stetter when we continue.
Top of the 7th inning, Mitch Stetter in to work against Carlos Pena. And earlier today, Ron Renicky said the final 3 outs of last night's game loomed huge because Marco Estrada was able to get those final 3 outs. So much so, he said they didn't have to make a roster move. If Estrada struggled, they would have had to make a roster move before the road trip. But since he was able to get through that final inning last night, he was able to keep everyone intact and no roster moves were made. So those final 3 outs last night were big in more ways than one, B.A.
Yeah, and it also means that, as you see the numbers on Mitch Stetter, that Takashi Saito is available today. Ron Renicky told us before the game that he can use Saito, who's been out with a hamstring injury.
And Saito's back, and Marco Estrada is back in the bullpen as well.
The here and now is Stetter against Pena with the potential go-ahead run at second base. Marlon Byrd led the inning off with a double. Cubs have had their leadoff man aboard the last 3 innings. Stetter is such a tough matchup for a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, that sweeping slider, and when he keeps that fastball in the outside corner to the left-hander, he can be very effective, like he was a couple of years ago.
Pena is 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, that didn't miss by much. Ball and a strike on Pena. Cubs won the opener 7-4 on Friday. The Brewers shut them out last night behind Chris Narveson. And as Telly mentioned, the 2 innings out of the bullpen, Sean Green and Marco Estrada. Pena 4 for 20 on the season. A slow start for the big slugger. And it's 3 balls and a strike.
Stetter trying to continue to work the outside corner, just missing. And the one slider that he threw on the 0-1 pitch was very close to being a strike. That turned the at bat around a little bit. Instead of 0-2, it was 1-1.
So probably be the only batter that Stetter faces. As Pena rolls over one foul, 3-2.
Well, I guess if you're Ron Renicky and Stetter's able to get Pena, you can always walk Soto and go after Tyler Colvin.
I remember Quaddy has already used Alfonso Soriano. Fukudome had to come out of the lineup with an injury.
But then if he goes to a right-hander, you go to the bullpen.
Big pitch here, the 3-2. And it's inside. Ball 4. Stetter walks Pena. And that changes the inning a little bit here for the skipper.
Well, now you have to go after Soto when you just as soon not have to use Stetter for a right-hander. So Ron Renicky's going to be forced to use a bunch of pitchers in this inning. His third already.
Stetter walks Pena, 2 on, 1 out, and back to the bullpen goes the manager.
Mark 4-4 as we play here in the top of the 7th inning. Kids 14 and under join the Brewers Kids Club, presented by Associated Bank. For only $25, receive the official club cap, wallet, poster, water bottle, ID, and lanyard, plus 6 Terrace Reserve ticket vouchers. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com to join.
Well, this game has come to a grinding halt here with the pitching changes. Sean Green gave up a leadoff double. Stetter was brought in to face Pena. He walked him, and now it's Cameron Lowe, the third pitcher in the 7th inning. Still just 1 out. And the Cubs with 2 on.
Already 6th appearance for Cameron Lowe in the first 10 games.
Did not pitch yesterday, but he was up twice in the bullpen. Brewers need a ground ball. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Giovanni Soto for the Cubs. He has reached twice on the fielder's choice.
Good double play candidate. You got to pound that sinker. The first pitch was a slider that hung up in the zone. You don't want to do that in this situation.
There's that shift for Soto again. Any ground ball to the left side, it becomes an awkward double play opportunity. And the Brewers work on this. They've been out defensively with drills to determine who covers the bag. The one guy who has to make the key decision is Ricky Weeks. You know, if you get a ground ball hit between Betancourt and Weeks, somebody's got to go to the bag.
Yeah, good luck. That's the one big problem, as we talked about, when you have a shift like that. Everybody's out of position.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Soto lays off. Soto hit his first home run of the year on Friday night. 0 for 3 today with a strikeout and a couple of ground balls. And the ground ball pitcher Cameron Lowe, that one's away. 2-2. Leadoff double for Bird. Pena walked. Cubs have 6 doubles today of their 9 hits. And that gets by Kataris. And that's worst case scenario. Runners advance. Now a base hit will score 2. It'll be a wild pitch on Cameron Lowe.
Man, that one not even close. A tough play for any catcher. You don't really anticipate a fastball missing by this much, away and short. And George with no chance to get in front of it.
So again, Soto is up there with a runner at third now. And that infield in with the shift on. Lost him. Back-to-back walks, and the screws are tightening up for the Brewers here in the 7th inning. Bases loaded now.
They had 5 walks issued to the Cubs today. And Cameron Lowe, after starting Soto off with a first pitch slider for a strike, really not that close with any of his other fastballs. Fastballs down in the dirt. One getting by Kataris to put runners at second and third, and this pitch not even that close.
Lowe in a tight spot. Bases loaded. 1 away. Tyler Colvin at the plate. On the ground, fielder, and his only play is on Colvin. The run scores. The Cubs have the lead. Just a little dribbler over to first, and Prince had no chance at the plate.
And a very good decision by Prince not to throw home. They never would have gotten him, and you got to get somebody out in this. And Prince does the smart thing, holds on to it. But the Cubs take the lead.
The walks come around to haunt the Brewer pitchers here in the 7th inning. So second and third, 2 outs. And it's Darwin Barney now. There's a strike. Chased one. 0-2 to count on Darwin Barney.
When he starts that pitch over the plate and ends up being low, hitters more times than not are going to offer at it. Got so much downward movement on it. Tough to lay off.
The rookie second baseman Barney at the plate. And the 0-2 from Lowe, right off his foot.
Ouch, off the shin. Man. Sinker balls will do that to you.
Big spot for Cameron Lowe. 2 on 2 out, and the 0-2 just got a piece. Lowe's pitched so well and had such a good run in spring training that he's kind of earned his way into some key innings, late innings. 7th inning, 8th inning reliever. One of the final lines of defense for Ron Renicky in a spot like this. The 0-2. Breaking ball lifted out to Braun. That should do it. Inning over, but the Cubs score. Get a leadoff double, and it's 5-4 Chicago as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And now it's time for Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. We turn it over to PA announcer Rob Edwards.
And all of Major League Baseball as we honor our great nation with the singing of God Bless.
Live coming up after our coverage here of the game. Brawny and Fielder due up this inning. Together, they've been so hot, Davey, on this homestand. Didn't see that togetherness, that hotness, I guess, if you will, at the same time a year ago.
No, you know, last year what happened was that Brawny was hot, Prince wasn't. Prince hot, Brawny wasn't. Today and so far this year, they've both been hot at the same time. And that, with that result, there's a lot of runs scored.
Well, they've each homered again today, but the Brewers trail by 1. Looking forward to coverage after the ball game as well, Brian and Bill.
All right, Craig, Davey, thank you. As Carlos Gomez leads off for Milwaukee, the new Cubs pitcher is Sean Marshall. See what Gomez has done at the plate, presented by Wendy's. He's had a good day offensively. A couple of runs scored for the Brewers. Double back in the 3rd inning. And there's a little slap bunt. This is going to be a tough one. Nope, Ramirez makes a nice play. Boy, if Ramirez doesn't cut it off, It's an easy hit for Gomez.
Yep, and if he's able to slap that a little bit more up the middle, it's a base hit. I really don't believe Castro, where he was playing, would have been able to come in and throw him out. Good idea, just not executed as he wanted to. Ramirez able to get there, and with the good arm, able to throw him out.
Still close. So one gone for the new Cub pitcher.
Hey, you love the idea. Execution just wasn't there. And Sean Marshall in his 5th game this year had a great season for the Cubs last year, in and out of the rotation. A .270 earned run average for Marshall. Cubs very confident in Sean Marshall retiring right-handers and left-handed batters.
He's the setup to the setup man. Marshall has the 7th when the Cubs lead, Kerry Wood the 8th, and Carlos Marmol the 9th.
And last year, Sean Marshall, all out of the bullpen, did not make any starts. It was the year before he made 9 starts. 80 appearances last year for the tall left-hander and a .265 earned run average. Very good numbers.
Fielder waits to hit next. Braun belted his 4th home run of the year in the 3rd, 2-run homer that tied the game at 4. Cubs just took the lead with a run in the 7th. Down the line, Ramirez guarding the line. Long throw in time, dug out by Pena. Cubs had him perfectly positioned for the out, 2 away.
And not sure if the Cubs are playing no doubles, but anticipating Marshall throwing that big curveball. Ramirez right on the line, didn't have far to go. He just had to go down and get it. Nearly threw it away. A good pick by Carlos Pena at first.
So 2 men are out, and it's Prince Fielder now.
Had 2 5-3 putouts in this inning, and they couldn't be any further from each other than you could make it. Good play coming in, a play down the line.
Oh, Fielder trying to bunt his way on with the shift on.
Cubs will give him that any day, right?
I mean, this is why he's thinking about it.
Ideally, you'd like to get yourself in a scoring position with 2 outs and nobody on. And because of that, Ramirez a little bit closer to the line. Not now.
No, now's when you want to hit one over the fence.
Right.
Then you have a big smile on your way around. Big cut. He was thinking about it. Slow curveball from Marshall. It's 1-2. Marshall's tough. Fielder. That's a base hit. Knocked it over the shift. Man, is this guy any good right now? Fielder with his 3rd hit.
Yep, lefties, righties, doesn't matter. Stays right in there. Didn't get all of it, but able to dump it in front of the big shift. Starlin Castro playing in short center field. Marshall missed his spot with it. He wanted it down and away, left it up, and Prince made him pay for it.
Prince has been so impressive against left-handed pitching this year. Fielder with his third 3-hit game of the season. And a base runner for Eric Almonte, who will pinch hit for Katse.
You can see where Prince makes contact with the baseball right in here, letting the ball travel. That's what you have to do with the breaking ball. Make sure it's a strike. Wait a little bit longer. Same swing, but he lets the ball travel just a little bit.
Ron Renicky playing matchup here again with Almonte, hitting for Katse. Almonte homered in his first start of the season. That one's hit hard, but right at Castro, and an easy out at second base. Tough luck for Almonte. The inning is over, and we're going to the 8th with the Cubs leading 5-4. Series 5-4, so we go to the top of the 8th. Almonte in a pinch hitting role, a bounce out to end the inning. He stays in to play right field, and Renicky sends Cameron Lowe back to the mound. Blake DeWitt will pinch hit for the Cubs. Top of the order coming up next. Brewers are still looking for their first 3-up 3-down inning of the day. Well, you feel like, and more so for the Cubs, but at any point either offense could have opened it up a little bit. Chicago's had a ton of base runners. They've left 9 men on base.
The Cubs are 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position today. 2 for 15. And both of the hits came in the first and second inning.
Aramis Ramirez with 3 RBIs. He has 3 hits today. Cubs got a run batted in from Darwin Barney, and on a ground out from Tyler Colvin that put him ahead in the 7th. As Lowe strikes out Blake DeWitt. That sinking fastball gets Blake DeWitt for the first out of the 8th.
The ball just drops off the table as it gets to home plate. And DeWitt an easy out on 3 pitches.
Back to the top of the order, Alfonso Soriano, who came into the game for the injured Kosuke Fukudome. The update from the Cubs clubhouse: Fukudome left with a left hamstring strain. And Soriano into right field, a base hit, another Cubs base runner today. Every inning they've had a man on. Soriano's first hit. And it'll be Starlin Castro now. Oh, wrapping up our first series with the Chicago Cubs, and I know I speak for Bill. It's very strange to play the Cubs and not go over to that radio booth and see Ron Santo, who passed away this offseason, and all the Cubs players wearing the patch, the number 10 patch on their sleeves, remembering a great Cub.
Good man, too. Dealt with a lot, endured a lot of different health issues, but always had a smile on his face and always rooting for the Cubs. He didn't mind it coming from Ron.
No, you look forward to it, actually, especially at Wrigley, where there's glass between the booths, and you could almost just watch Ron Santo's expressions and know exactly what was going on in the game. And always great to talk to, and he'll be missed. Long look from Lowe, and he finally steps off. Cubs still do not have a stolen base. They're the only team in the major leagues without a steal this year. They've only attempted one stolen base this season.
Soriano used to be a big stolen base guy. He used to steal a lot of bases.
A team that doesn't run, they don't have many parts to run. Dead last in 09, second to last year, and you see the story this season.
Tough to manufacture runs when you don't have much speed.
The 0-2 ground ball, chance for two. Weeks to Betancourt, barehanded to throw in time. How about Uni Betancourt? Wow. An acrobatic play from the shortstop to get two. And Lowe is out of the inning. Boy, that was something special right there.
of the first, Prince Fielder's second home run of the season would tie the game at 2 apiece, and Ryan Braun's 4th home run of the season would tie the game at 4 apiece. Aramis Ramirez with 3 doubles, driving in 2 in the first, and then he would come back in the top of the 3rd to drive in another one, and it would stay 4-4 until the top of the 7th when Tyler Colvin's ground out would drive in a run. Marlon Berg would come around the score to give the Cubs a 5-4 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. BA.
All right, Telly, we head to the home 8th with Betancourt leading off against Kerry Wood, the new Cubs pitcher.
Hey, Kerry Wood already in his 5th game so far this year. Had a good run with the Yankees last year. 24 games out of the bullpen, a .69 ERA for Kerry Wood, and a 2-0 record.
Saw Wood in the opener of this series on Friday. And Betancourt down 0-2. Some kind of play to end the last inning from Yuniesky Betancourt. He's standing on that bag waiting for the throw to come out from Ricky Weeks with a runner coming in on him.
That ball handcuffed Ricky just a little bit. It was hit right on the nose. Ricky went down, and as he was going down, he flipped it to Betancourt, who grabbed it barehanded and turned the double play. That was a good play on both ends.
Brewers down a run, each club with 10 hits. And it's 2-2 on Betancourt. Counsell to follow, then Kotaras.
Kerry Wood still has good life on his fastball, 94 miles an hour. Not the big sweeping slider anymore. It's more the cutter. Cutter 4-seamer for Kerry Wood. A little bit easier on the arm.
And he lost him. Betancourt draws the walk. Tying run is aboard. Coming off that fantastic play out at short to end the inning. Betancourt draws the walk. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
Yeah, that one hopper caught Ricky a little bit too deep in his body. That's why he went down. But before he hit the deck, he was able to flip it to Betancourt, and they're able to get out of the inning.
A little ad-lib by the Brewer shortstop. You know, they work on that play so much. There's a rhythm to it, and when it changes, it can affect the play, but not that time. As Counsell gets the bunt down. And Soto's only play is first. He makes a good play. Sacrifice bunt for Craig Counsell. The tying run at second now.
And Brewers executing their bunts very well today. The 3rd sacrifice bunt on the day. Gallardo with 2, and now Craig Counsell able to get a man into scoring position. A tying run out there. Well done. It's the little things that win games.
So Betancourt in scoring position for Kotaras. 1 away. Got the pitcher spot coming up next. Betancourt got down 0-2 and draws the walk. Kotaras has the kind of power to give the Brewers the lead here in the 8th. Ooh, had a good cut. Fouls it back. 1-1.
Yep, high fastball. Still good velocity for Wood. 94 as Casey McGee is on the on-deck circle.
It's not a bad bat to call on late.
Yep, Casey McGee, Nigel Morgan, and Will Nieva still available on the bench.
Wood, the former Cubs closer, after a stint with the Indians and the Yankees back in Chicago. Yeah, he's struggling with his command. 3 balls and a strike on Kotaras. Best outfield arm is in right with Colvin. The pitch, Kataras takes one. Seems like everything he throws now has a little cut action on it.
Yeah, that was 91. Took a little off, had a little movement. That's why George took it.
See what he does here. Full count. Fouled it back. Count stays 3-2. Wood is certainly used to spots like this. Longtime closer. Set up in New York. Was good for the Yankees last year. He didn't give up much at all in the American League in pinstripes. Everybody talks about this cut fastball he's throwing, and he's been throwing it for a few years, but there has to have had some kind of positive impact just pitching with Mariano Rivera. I mean, you'd be crazy not to pick up something from the man who basically made the cutter famous.
Well, he was somewhat forced to, because that slider that he was throwing when he was younger is really tough on the elbow. You can't throw that your entire career. I think Marmo's going to have to be dealing with that adjustment as well at some point.
Got a battle here. Kataras against Wood. Tying run at second base. And it's a called strike 3. George took a guess and guessed wrong. And Wood picks up a big strikeout.
Yeah, right down the middle. This fastball splits home plate right in half.
So 2 men are out, and McGee off the bench. One of the best run producers the Brewers have had the last 2 years. And he's been good in spots like this year. So far this season, of McGee's 4 runs batted in, 3 of them have come with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, very good at making contact, likes the high fastball, and not afraid to go to right center.
Casey hits it hard into right center field. This is way back, and it's gone! A 2-run home run, and the Brewers have the lead. Boy, if that doesn't get your blood pumping, nothing will. Miller Park is on its ear right now as Weeks a little tapper foul. Some kind of moment as Casey McGee, the former Cub, with a 2-run home run, 6-5 Milwaukee in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Casey McGee once again. He likes that fastball. You can't throw it hard enough to get it by him when he has the count in his favor.
Ricky Weeks, the breaking ball got him. So Weeks is aboard.
Yep, every now and again he'll throw that curveball to try and get me over strike, and that one got a piece of Ricky. But check out Casey. He likes to go to right center, and that's exactly where he goes with it. Well, that's a nice swing down and through. Let the ball travel. He likes the fastball, likes it up, and not afraid to go to right center.
And a game where you get 2-run home runs, from Braun, Fielder, and McGee, the heavyweights of this Milwaukee batting order. Eddie Cedar. Runner goes, pitch out, throw to second. Weeks is out at second base. Inning over. But here we go to the ninth. Casey McGee lifts the lid here at Miller Park with a 2-run bomb. Casey McGee gives the Brewers the lead as we head to the ninth inning. A 2-run home run for McGee in a pinch hit appearance. And now it's the Axeman, John Axford, on to try to save it for Milwaukee and wrap up this homestand with an exclamation point.
No, he's been throwing much better since leaving Cincinnati. He's got saves in his last 2 appearances after blowing one on opening day against the Reds.
Nigel Morgan enters the game in right field. The Brewers tighten up defensively. Middle of the Cubs batting order coming up. Axford's going to have to earn this one. Bird leads off. Bird, Ramirez, and Pena. And they have done a lot of damage today, those three. Base hit. Marlon Byrd with his second hit on base for the 4th time.
Yep, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was out over the plate, and Marlon Byrd doing a nice job going to the opposite field. A double in the 7th to right, and now a single to lead off the 9th. Just a good hitter. All-around good hitter.
Yeah, there's no shift on for Marlon Byrd, the way he uses the field. And now the Cubs' hottest hitter of the day, Aramis Ramirez. 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in. And a strike. And a breaking ball from Axford.
That's a good sign for the Axeman, throwing that breaking ball for a strike first pitch. That'll get in your head if you're hitting.
The Brewers have turned up a couple of double plays today. Set up for one here with Axford on the mound. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second, and it's in time. Kataris guns down Byrd, a caught stealing.
Well, he had the right pitch to throw on, a high fastball. Check it out. Byrd with no lead, a decent jump and a perfect throw by George to get him. Well, it had to be perfect, and it was. And Kataris with a caught stealing, his second this year.
All of last year, it was a green light for the opponents with Kataris behind the plate, but he worked on it during the offseason and spring training. Boy, that didn't miss by much. And when he needed it most, in a big spot in the ninth, Kataris guns down Bird. Strikes out Ramirez. 2 gone in the ninth.
Now Ramirez chasing 2 high fastballs. The last one enough to strike him out. Almost had him on the slider of the pitch before, then goes up the ladder and swing and a miss.
Cubs down to their last out. And the dangerous Carlos Pena. Able to lay off. Will McGee's home run stand up? That one's hit high. This should do it. Nigel Morgan wants it. And that's your ball game. The Brewers wedded a thriller at Miller Park today. Casey McGee, a 2-run homer. Exford with a save. And Rock, how about a 5-2 homestand?
Yeah, nice bounce back from a rough start to the season in Cincinnati. Pitching has been very good. Really hats off to the guys in the bullpen today, keeping the Cubs at bay. Cubs had opportunities in every single inning, but Brewer pitching coming through. A good job once again by Cameron Lowe.
Casey McGee, the Menards player of the game. Still much more to come. We kick it out to Craig Kashawn. It's time for Brewers Live.
Sure is, Brian, and every game needs a hero. It's Casey McGee this time, plus that bullpen, as you guys mentioned. We'll catch up with those heroes. What a homestand for Milwaukee. We'll break it all down next on Brewers Live.